Behind the familiar laugh tracks and perfect on-screen images, there were people forced to live double lives, not because they wanted to, but because they had no other choice. In a ruthless Hollywood, where a single exposed truth could destroy a reputation overnight, they had to hide who they really were just to survive. One moment, one secret revealed, could erase an entire career built over decades. But what truly draws curiosity isn't why they had to hide. It's how they managed to survive in a world filled with pressure and nearly impossible standards. Make sure you watch until the end, because these stories might completely change the way you see Hollywood. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more untold secrets. If you're interested, drop a 1 below. Dick Sargent stepped into one of television's most iconic roles as the second Darren Stevens on Bewitched, but off-screen he was playing an even more exhausting part. For decades, Sargent navigated an industry that would have blacklisted him instantly if the truth came out. Studios didn't just discourage openness, they weaponized fear. Contracts included morality clauses that could terminate careers overnight, and tabloids hunted for scandal like bloodhounds. Sargent watched friends lose everything, saw whispers destroy reputations, and knew the cost of visibility was too high. In 1991, after retiring from acting, he finally came out publicly, becoming one of the first actors of his generation to do so. He spent his remaining years advocating for LGBTQ+ rights and HIV/AIDS awareness, turning decades of silence into powerful activism. His courage arrived late, but it arrived loud. Sargent proved that even those who spent careers in hiding could still reshape the conversation. He died in 1994, but his legacy remains a bridge between Hollywood's darkest era and the progress that followed. Paul Lynde's campy humor and razor-sharp wit made him a television icon, but his flamboyance existed in a dangerous space. Hollywood squares turned him into a household name. Yet, the same qualities that made him beloved also marked him as suspect in an era obsessed with traditional masculinity. Lynde never publicly acknowledged his sexuality, a silence born from calculated survival. Behind closed doors, he struggled with alcoholism and isolation, the weight of living split between public persona and private truth. Industry insiders knew. Audiences speculated, but Lynde never confirmed. The unspoken agreement was simple: entertain us, but don't make us uncomfortable. He delivered one-liners that pushed boundaries without crossing them, a tightrope walk that required constant vigilance. Friends described a man haunted by what he couldn't say, someone whose humor masked profound loneliness. When he died suddenly in 1982, tributes celebrated his comedy but never acknowledged the cost of his silence. Lynde's career thrived in the margins, but those margins were suffocating. Charles Nelson Reilly became a fixture of 1970s game shows, his theatrical personality and quick wit making him unforgettable on programs like Match Game. Yet his exaggerated mannerisms existed in a coded language that audiences understood but couldn't name. Reilly's flamboyance was entertainment, acceptable as long as it remained performance rather than identity. He never publicly discussed his personal life, navigating an entertainment landscape where visibility meant vulnerability. Behind the scenes, Reilly built a decades-long partnership with Broadway director Patrick Hughes, a relationship lived entirely in private. The entertainment industry allowed certain performers to be eccentric as long as they never claimed space as openly LGBTQ+. Reilly's humor felt safe to mainstream audiences because it never challenged them directly. He walked a careful line, his personality celebrated as quirky rather than authentic. When he died in 2007, obituaries focused on his career accomplishments, largely avoiding discussions of his personal life, even in death. Reilly's story highlights how Hollywood created space for certain types of queer performance, while simultaneously policing actual queer lives. His contributions to comedy were significant, but they came at the cost of living truthfully in public. 4. Raymond Burr. Raymond Burr constructed one of Hollywood's most elaborate false narratives, inventing dead wives and children to shield his private life from scrutiny. For decades, he spoke publicly about family tragedies that never occurred, building a heterosexual backstory that biographers would later expose as complete fiction. The desperation required to maintain such extensive lies reveals the terror that defined his era. Burr's partnership with actor Robert Benavides lasted over 30 years. Yet, publicly, Benavides was introduced as a business associate. They built an orchid business together, traveled the world, and created a shared life entirely in shadows. Perry Mason made Burr one of television's highest-paid actors, but that success required constant performance off-screen. The fabricated stories weren't occasional white lies, but a comprehensive alternate biography he maintained until his death. When Burr died in 1993, the truth emerged gradually through biographies and investigative journalism. His deception wasn't pathological, but protective, a survival mechanism in an industry that destroyed careers for far less. Cesar Romero's portrayal of the Joker in the 1960s Batman series cemented his place in pop culture, his theatrical villain defining the character for generations. Yet his decades-long bachelor status fueled constant speculation that he navigated with practiced deflection. Romero attended premieres with glamorous actresses, performed the role of Latin lover convincingly, and never addressed persistent rumors. Hollywood insiders understood, but the public conversation remained speculation rather than acknowledgement. His career spanned from the 1930s through the 1980s, witnessing every shift in Hollywood's treatment of sexuality, yet never feeling safe enough to speak openly. Romero's charm became armor, his public persona carefully calibrated to suggest availability while revealing nothing. Friends described someone deeply private, protective of boundaries in ways that suggested painful experience. When he died in 1994, obituaries celebrated his six-decade career without addressing the questions that had followed him throughout. Romero's silence wasn't weakness, but strategy, a calculated choice in an industry that punished honesty. Jim Nabors created one of television's most beloved characters with Gomer Pyle, his persona defining wholesome American entertainment. Yet Nabors spent decades navigating rumors and speculation, his bachelor status and close friendship with Rock Hudson fueling persistent gossip. The entertainment industry's unwritten rules meant certain friendships attracted scrutiny, marking individuals as suspect by association. Nabors relocated to Hawaii in the 1970s, seeking distance from Hollywood surveillance. He built a successful career performing in concerts and maintaining selective television appearances, but personal questions remained off-limits. The contrast between Gomer Pyle's innocent persona and the speculation surrounding Nabors created cognitive dissonance that audiences seemed content to ignore. In 2013, at age 82, Nabors married his partner of 38 years, Stan Cadwallader, 1 month after same-sex marriage became legal in Washington state. The announcement surprised many, though friends had known about the relationship for decades. Nabors' late-life visibility came only after legal protections existed and his career had long concluded. He died in 2017, having spent only 4 years of his life able to publicly acknowledge his marriage. Clifton Webb's sophisticated roles in films like Sitting Pretty defined mid-century elegance, his refined persona making him instantly recognizable. His close relationship with his mother, with whom he lived for decades, became tabloid fodder that coded his personal life in ways audiences understood without explicit statement. Webb never married, never publicly dated, and deflected personal questions with practiced skill. His career thrived in the 1940s and 50s, yet he remained hyper-aware of the precariousness of his position. Hollywood allowed certain performers to be confirmed bachelors as long as they maintained plausible deniability. Webb's sophistication was acceptable entertainment, but explicit acknowledgement would have ended his career instantly. He died in 1966 with his private life remaining exactly that, having successfully navigated 4 decades of Hollywood scrutiny. His story demonstrates how class and sophistication sometimes provided protective cover, allowing wealthy performers more privacy than their less privileged counterparts. Marjorie Main built her career playing Ma Kettle, the down-home matriarch in a series of successful films. Her wholesome image contrasted sharply with her private life, which she guarded fiercely from public scrutiny. Main was married briefly early in her career, but after her husband's death, she lived for decades with actress Spring Byington in an arrangement that sparked persistent speculation. The two women were inseparable professionally and personally, sharing homes and appearing together constantly. Hollywood's gossip machine churned with rumors, but Main's marketable maternal persona provided protective cover. Studios had invested heavily in her family-friendly image and worked to suppress speculation that might threaten box office returns. Main never addressed the rumors, maintaining strict boundaries between her public and private lives. When she died in 1975, her relationship with Byington was described euphemistically as a close friendship. Her story reveals how female performers faced similar pressures as their male counterparts. Agnes Moorehead's portrayal of Endora on Bewitched made her a television icon, her theatrical presence defining the character. Yet throughout her career, Moorehead faced persistent speculation about her personal life, rumors she found deeply hurtful and consistently denied. Her 2 brief marriages ended in divorce, and her later life included close friendships with women that attracted unwanted attention. Moorehead was a devout Presbyterian who viewed the rumors as attacks on her character and faith. The speculation caused her genuine distress, highlighting how assumption and innuendo damage people regardless of truth. Hollywood's rumor mill didn't distinguish between fact and fiction, treating speculation as a guilty verdict. Moorehead's career spanned 5 decades, but she spent much of it defending her personal life rather than simply living it. When she died in 1974, the rumors persisted even in obituaries, demonstrating how public perception could override an individual's own statements. Liberace's flamboyant stage persona made him one of entertainment's biggest stars, his sequined costumes and candelabras becoming instantly iconic. Yet he maintained fierce denial of his sexuality, giving interviews about the women he might marry even as he lived with male partners. His 1956 libel suit against a British newspaper that implied he was gay resulted in victory and substantial damages, reinforcing his public heterosexual image. Behind the scenes, Liberace carried on relationships with men throughout his career, most notably with Scott Thorson, who later sued him in a sensational palimony case. The contradiction between his obviously coded performance and his aggressive public denial created cognitive dissonance that audiences seemed willing to accept. His career depended on maintaining this impossible balance. When he died in 1987 from AIDS-related complications, his death certificate initially listed a different cause, extending the fiction even beyond life. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.